Hi everybody, welcome back to School of Scarlett. Today I have another intuitive message for you. So today's intuitive message was coming in very loud and over the course of a few days, and today's message is really around how no weapon that is formed against you will prosper. So you may be feeling like you are attacked, or there is something in your life that is chaotic or a distraction of some kind. So today's message is for you. Like I say, today's message was coming in very strong over the course of a few days with different events and things that happened in my life. So I share intuitive messages based on daily life things that happen in my life. I use those as a channel and I share with you an intuitive message. So today I was actually going to share a completely different video as we are beginning the Creator Code series training tomorrow. And I wanted to bring some of that to today's video, but we will be picking up on that at a later time. Stay tuned to the very end of today's video to get more information on our Creator Code series. But today I want to go ahead and just jump into today's message and share with you some of the things that were happening that were coming through very strongly to share with you. So one of the things that was happening was my daughter recently got her driver's license, and over the weekend we were planning to go out of town to a driving trip that was a little bit longer than she's used to. So we were driving about an hour and a half, 2 hours away to go see family. And when we got in the car, everything seemed fine, and we were excited and all that stuff to go driving out of town. And about only like 5 miles into the trip, we began to see kind of this basically almost like a plague of love bugs all over the place. They were flying everywhere. They were hitting the windshield just constantly. And I'm going to add a shorts video into my shorts section if you are interested in seeing what that looked like. I took a little bit of a video. That was actually before it got really, really bad. But anyhow, we were getting all of these love bugs just hitting our windshield like crazy. And it was happening so much that the windshield got super like foggy and just we couldn't see. And we kept cleaning them off with the windshield wiper fluid, so much so that all of a sudden we ran out of windshield wiper fluid. So we had to pull over at a store and get some more windshield wiper fluid, and we refilled and we went on our trip. But we kept getting the love bugs just hitting the car like crazy. And just to show you how bad it actually was, when we got out at the store, just opening the door to get out of the car and get back in, love bugs just all of a sudden came in the car. And they were not just on the outside of the car, but they were on the inside of the car, just everywhere. And so it was pretty crazy. I've been in Texas for most of my life, and I have never seen this amount of love bugs anywhere. They're usually a sign that fall is coming, so that is a great thing, but it was just a lot. So we refilled and we went on our trip, and by the time we got like to the next town, which was maybe like 10 miles away, the windshield wiper had almost stopped working. It was just creating more of a mess. And so we had to stop at a gas station and get some of the squeegee liquid and squeegee stuff and clean off the windshield with that. And so we did that at the gas station, and it cleaned up the windshield. And we were just praying and hoping that would be enough, that we could go on the rest of our trip. We hadn't really gotten that far, maybe 15 miles into like a trip that was going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So we cleaned it all up and we got back in the car and we kept going. And as we kept going, we began to see that the love bugs stopped. They were no longer there. They weren't maybe in this other part of the town that we were at. So all of that cleared up, but there was some time there that it was very, very intense. And I will tell you, when we stopped at the first store to get the windshield wiper fluid, when we stopped there to get that, I began to think maybe this is something that we got to turn around. Maybe this is too much, because it was really something that I had never seen before, and it was just becoming so unmanageable to keep that windshield clean. So I thought to myself, and it was a thought to turn around and go back home and just do this some other time. So today's message is really about how there's going to be attacks in your life. There's going to be situations in your life that come to distract you, that come to create chaos. There's going to be, situations that come like even plotted against you. There's going to be people that are jealous about you. There's going to be people that are trying to take you down. There's going to be bullying, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's within families, whether it's wherever you're at, these things are going to happen, especially if you are a person that is vibrating very high. If you are a person that is on my channel, you probably are like an empath, a service worker, someone that is putting out a gift of some kind. And so because of that, you're going to be attacked. You're seen as different. You're seen as, you know, truly being authentic. There's something about your light that can really irritate others. And when you irritate someone that is vibrationally kind of the opposite of you currently at this time, that is when these things begin to happen. And sometimes they happen even without people getting involved. They might just be natural things like the love bugs. You might experience, you know, a natural disaster, something that sets you back, a distraction or something chaotic in your life that suddenly sets you back. Maybe it's a fire, you know, something. But I want you to know that anything that happens in your life, whether it's man-made or, you know, natural or whatever, it's not going to be able to stop you. You are going to win. Everything that happens is actually happening for your own good, no matter what it is. And I want you to keep that mindset, because when you have that knowing of what is actually happening here, actually nothing can stop you. Nothing can work against you when you are aligned with that. Now, if you believe differently, if you believe that things can stop you, if you believe that, you know, something happened to you and it's forever and you can't overcome it, then you will create that reality for yourself. But if you believe that no weapon that is formed will prosper, then it won't. It just won't. And that is the reality of things. So if you align with that, you're going to be able to overcome anything that comes your way. And it's natural to have doubts. Just like when I stopped at that store, I was really thinking, and I didn't say it out loud, but I did have the thought of turning around. And I want you to know that a lot of these distractions come in a way to like make you think that the road is closed and that you can't move forward, and that it's just going to be stopping you from now on, that things are so hard that you can't move forward. The road is not closed. It's actually open, is what I'm seeing. So you can move forward, and these things are temporary. They will pass. So by the time we had gotten to the gas station, you know, we had to clean off the windshield with some squeegee and all of that, because it just had gotten so bad that even the windshield wipers were not helping the situation. And at that point, when we got there, we cleaned it off. But the next thing that we had was faith. We really believed, and, you know, deep down inside, there was this faith, this kind of hope and, you know, prayer within that things were going to get better. And as we got back in the car and we kept traveling, we noticed that it did get better. So these things are temporary and they will pass. And we have to be faithful that these things will clear up, whatever it is that's happening in our lives. It will clear up, and you will be able to move forward with clarity. But it's important that you pause. And sometimes these things, when they happen, they cause us to pause. We need to pause because there's nothing else we can do. For example, when we had all the love bugs on the windshield, at some point we had to pause. When we didn't have the windshield wiper fluid, we had to pause. We had to stop somewhere and get that fluid. When it got so messy on the windshield that we couldn't really see at all, we had to pause and stop at that gas station. We really couldn't keep going at that point. So you will experience a pause, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean that you're going to stop there forever. That's a pause. And pauses sometimes happen for our own protection. There's divine protection behind that. We don't know why we had to pause, but in that pause, it really could have been saving us from something bigger. So make sure that you stop and you pause. Sometimes you might go into a pause where you're being hidden away, and there's many stories about that, like in the Bible and different things where, you know, different people were hidden away for some time, and there was a pause there in their story. And those pauses are oftentimes for our protection, for us to grow in those pauses, for us to, you know, sit back while other things happen that are chaotic in the world that we don't need to be part of at this time. Now, if we hadn't paused and gotten that windshield wiper fluid, or, you know, cleaned off the windshield, and we had just said, no, we're going to keep going, we're not going to pause, even though everything's telling us to pause, then we would override our intuition. We would override our even common sense, and we would probably get into an accident. So pausing is your protection. Now, this is just an example, but your pause could be way bigger. There could be a reason why you're having to pause. And I know that in my life, there's been many of times that I ended up somewhere that I didn't expect, and I had to take a pause. And then hindsight, later I find out that, you know, there was something really bad happening that could have happened to me if I had been in that area, if I had been, you know, if I had kept going, if I had gone to this place. So oftentimes that pause is our protection. And we hear about it time and time again, different stories like the Titanic, or that submarine, you know, that went down for that, looking at the Titanic, or even the actual Titanic, where, you know, people that were meant to be on that ship, something happened and they had to pause and just cancel the trip and not go. Or same thing with that submarine that went down to look at the Titanic. There's stories of individuals that ended up not going on that because either their intuition spoke to them or something literally came into their reality that made them have to pause. So our pause is oftentimes our protection. But the next thing that we have to keep in mind is to cleanse ourselves. So when we're in the pause, we have to clean up. Just like I had to clean up when we stopped at the gas station, or even when we stopped at the store. It's time to clean that windshield, but it's not just that. It's time to cleanse yourself. And what does that mean? That means renewing yourself in meditation, prayer, the word, whatever it is for you in your life, in nature, in whatever renews you. Go ahead and cleanse yourself in that moment. Take a pause and cleanse. It's important to take those steps, and then you can move forward. So these are very symbolic things that happened, you know, in a weird kind of thing that happened in my car, but they translate to something very symbolic in our own lives. And it's important to pay attention to that. So the next thing that happens after we rest, we cleanse, is that we reset. At some point, you're going to feel renewed. You're going to feel like, oh, it's safe. It's okay. It's time to move forward. And that's our reset. So we keep going on that trip or whatever it is that we're moving into. And now we're reset, we're cleansed, and we can move forward with total clarity. So there's going to be a time where you move forward again, but you really have to take the time to cleanse. You really have to take that time to rest or pause. And after those steps, your reset will happen. So you might be having something happening in your life right now that seems very chaotic. You feel like maybe people are plotting against you, or, you know, there's spiritual attacks, or there's just bad luck, or whatever you want to call it in your situation. It's time to take a pause and then rest, rejuvenate yourself, renew yourself in whatever ways will work for you. And then you will see that suddenly it's just temporary. Things will clear up and you will be able to reset and move forward again in a more clear way. So as we took our pause and we cleansed and all of that stuff, after that, we moved forward. And when we moved forward, it was a clear trip the rest of the way. And we didn't get stopped. We didn't turn around. We didn't cancel the trip. We ended up where we wanted to be, and it was successful. So you're meant to be successful. There is nothing that is a weapon formed against you. There is no plot that can be formed against you. There is nobody that can, you know, wish you ill will, or, you know, do anything bad to you that is actually bad for you. Everything that is happening to you is actually for your own good. But we have to see it that way. We really have to perceive it that way, and that is the reality that we will live. Everything that happens is really showing us something. It's communication in some way, and we have to listen to that. It's speaking to us. And in those steps of pausing, cleansing, and resetting, we can move forward with clarity and strength. So that's what today's message is really about. I wanted to bring kind of this hopeful message that these things that are happening in your life, if they are chaotic, you know, they're just looking bad right now at this moment, I want you to know that they're temporary. And so that is a confirmation to you that these things are temporary. And so don't see your pause as something horrible or something to stop you or say that the road is closed. There's a huge bug behind the camera. I think it was a cicada, actually. So if that's resonating with you, that's what was behind the camera. And so I don't know if you heard it, but it made a loud noise as well. So I want you to keep that in mind, that these things are temporary, and just like anything will happen, like that bug being here or whatever, we got to keep going. I remember when I used to dance. I was a dancer for, you know, I did jazz dance, and then in school I did some activities. And if for some reason you forgot, you know, the next step, or I used to do some acting as well, if you forget your line, you have to improvise. You have to keep going. You have to make it seem like it's nothing and just keep moving forward. You don't stop the performance and get off stage and give up. So even that little bug, we have to keep this conversation going. We don't just shut it all off because something happened. So take a small pause, regroup, cleanse yourself, and move forward. That's what's important here. Okay, so that is complete. That is the message that I wanted to share with you. As far as the Creator Code series, if you've made it this far, we are beginning a training tomorrow. These are a group of people that have signed up for a course, and so I'm going to be sharing all of that information with them in the course. But as well as on YouTube, I will be sharing bits and pieces of that here as well. Almost like with every training that I do, I have people that sign up for the initial training, and then there's people that, you know, for whatever reason they can't sign up, whether that's schedule, whether that's doubt, whether that's fear, whether that's finances, and they don't sign up. And then as soon as I begin the course, they want to sign up, and it's a little bit too late because I do kind of cap my courses at a certain kind of smaller group for, you know, to have a more intimate group. And so I will probably be beginning a second series of the same Creator Code series with the people that have now, you know, come forward that they do want to sign up. So stay tuned for that. And if that is you and you want to reserve your spot now, feel free to email me at schoolofscarlett@gmail.com, and I'll get you on that list for the second portion of this course, or like the second time that I run the course. But I want to share a few things with you here on this channel for free, so that you can see a little bit of what it is that we'll be learning in the Creator Code series. And in the Creator Code series, we go very deep. So what I share on YouTube is only a small percentage of what you actually will experience and get in the course. So I want you to keep that in mind, that, you know, while I can share a lot of information here on YouTube, going deeper in a more intimate group is actually something that is really big. It's really deep, that we can do that together as a little collective in that group, that container. And that's not something that you really can get on YouTube. So if you are interested in going deeper on creating your own reality, being the creator of your own life, that sort of thing, go ahead and email me now, and I can give you information about the second time that I run this course. So the next video that I put up, hopefully it will be around the Creator Code series and sharing that. But I do really follow my heart, and if I get an intuitive message that wants to be shared here on this channel for the collective, then I go ahead and I move with that. I listen to my intuition. I am a servant of God, and I move forward on those things that come through on my heart. So I felt today's message was important to share with you. And so if you are putting anything out into this world, whether it's your gift, whether it's your beautiful spirit, whatever it is, don't let anybody come in between that. Stay strong, move forward. Know that nothing that is a weapon that is formed against you will prosper. Everything is actually working within your own good, and you just can simply just follow the intuitive steps of pausing, kind of cleansing and resetting and moving forward, and nothing is going to stop you. So I hope that this message found you well. If it did, if it resonated with you, if you liked it, if you got something from it, please give me a like and share this video with others. If you are new here, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, to hit that notification bell, to come back. I put out these intuitive messages as soon as I feel them. So that is something that you'll be getting on this channel, as well as lots of information around all kinds of topics that are relevant to life. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me, for being part of this channel. I truly appreciate each and every one of you and your comments. I love you all, and I will catch you on our next video.